Shut up and sit down.
You're kind of sexy.
Okay, take that again. Because that's really funny.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just see if that's what I said. Welcome back to another episode of the Bias Effect Podcast. I'm Nikki.
I'm QJ. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm vibing. I know. So we never started like
Freeform.
that.
I know, because it's our freeform though. It's our second freeform, so it's kind of more loosey-goosey. We had some more dedicated episodes. Last one was a little history lesson. So now we're just chatting.
Now we're keeping it loose. We've hinted a few times over the last few episodes that we had some talks coming up, so we are probably going to dedicate a lot of this episode to 17, but we're going to start with other things first.
Yeah, okay.
Tell us about it.
No, well, you tried to purchase some merch recently.
I think I talked about it on the podcast ages ago, like a couple episodes ago, that I was like trying to buy the Hongjoon AT's jersey. Fell through completely. So I like the day of its delivery, you know, like estimated delivery or whatever, came and passed, and I'm like, what the hell? Where's my? It hasn't even shipped yet. Looked on the Etsy website, store's closed. I was like, hello, I have an order out. So I messaged the person, auto message right away that was like, I'm out. I'm like, okay, like what does this mean? But basically I gave it like another day, and then as soon as I reached out to Etsy, like within like 5 seconds they were like, you've been refunded. So I'm like, obviously this is like a thing, like this person's closed up shop was a thing, because I was like, it was so fast, I didn't even review anything.
That's like so wild to me that you could just...
I know, I was like, I mean, if you have pending orders, you can't even like reach out to your like customers to be like, hey,
Yeah.
like I get that life happens, and honestly, if they had said like, I have like some shit going on right now, it's gonna take a while, I probably would have just left it.
Yeah.
But like the fact that I have nothing, no communication, I'm like, no, I'm not trusting that. So no jersey for me. I also looked after that like for a different version of it. There's nothing. There's literally only the official one, which is like over $100, which I do get if I went to a concert. That's probably what I would. That's probably what it costs. Like if you went to the AT's concert,
True.
that's probably what it costs. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to pay that in my day-to-day life. So the jersey is pending. The jersey is pending. I will get it eventually, but
Tragic.
I know.
Absolutely tragic. Well, I mean, it kind of like leads into what I was gonna say. So like, today actually I went to this. It was like a K-pop convention-ish type thing, mixed with cosplay, and mostly a lot of it. I'd say 75% of the venue was like anime, which is fine. But this is kind of like the first time I've ever gone to like true like convention type event for K-pop, and oh my god, the photo card game. Again, let's say there was 20 booths, like only 2 of them were K-pop, let's say. So there wasn't like that too many photo cards, but the vendors that had cards, it was overwhelming. Like I sent you a photo, but it was, I'll post it too so you guys can see, but it was like a full table full of binders of like multiple different cards, and I was like, I needed to come in with a plan, and I definitely didn't. So I kind of panicked. That table I did not interact with, but I've got a few other photo cards from another vendor.
I've seen that before, like at stores, they have that big binder, and I was like, I don't even know where to start with that.
Yeah, you gotta go in the plan, because I got to this table, I will tell you, that there was like just a binder full of ATs. I was like, I'm overwhelmed. There's a full binder, just 17, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Anyway, where this relates to you, more than just the photo card, there was a booth that was selling jerseys, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't even look at it. I was by myself. We don't live in the same city, unfortunately, so I went by myself, and I was like feeling real awkward. I'm fine with crowds and stuff, but events like that, if you're by yourself, I just feel a little awkward. So, I didn't have the nerve to talk to them about it or anything. But they had like they had a gin one, like it was just gin. I was like, okay. But so in theory, there are vendors out there that will custom make them.
Yeah, I know. I think I've even seen it like at a K-pop store. They've had some of those jerseys. It's just like like where I live, there's nothing like that. I'm in like a dead zone. So I'm like, I don't have nothing out here. So I think though, like I am traveling to a city for Stray Kids this summer that does have that kind of stuff. So I am kind of like, I'm kind of hoping that maybe they'll still have a couple lying around.
Yeah, the store we order from that has a physical store here, they had the jerseys
I
there.
remember you sending me a picture of the jerseys before, so I was like, I'm hoping that they still have those there like 2 months from
Yeah,
now when I finally get there.
I know.
Because I will, and I am, and I am going to.
You're gonna have to like seriously like bring a spare suitcase when you come. Like I swear you're gonna have
I'm
so
just gonna
much to
pack
bring back with
one
you.
outfit that I'm gonna wear every day, and then the rest will be stuff that I just buy. Like my change of clothes will be the things I buy.
You're already planning because that's what I keep thinking. I was like, I already have a gift. So at this event too, there's a really cute like artists there. So I bought two like of their postcard side print, one for you. So like, you're gonna already have one or two things for me already before the concert.
Yeah, like I know we're going to the concert, plus like I know we're gonna go to the store, and like
All the
I was even
stores.
talking to my other friend because like I'm gonna see like a couple people when I'm down there, and my other friend was like, "Should we go to a K-pop store?" And I was like, "Girl, I'm already gonna be going to a K-pop store."
I was like, that's reserved for me.
I know, and I was like, I'm already gonna be doing that. And like now I might be going to multiple stores.
Yeah, we will. We're gonna go to the two major stores I know
Yeah,
of.
for sure. So yeah, I know I will get it eventually, but I'm just kind of pissed about it. I'm just pissed about the customer service.
I mean, that was kind of crazy. Like, again, like if you're gonna close your store, I feel like
You know you have orders pending. Like,
exactly.
don't
Like
be a
just
bitch about
like
it.
anyway. But yeah, she kind of was snarky. And you sent me the reply, and I was like,
Yeah, the auto reply was like, I'm busy. Basically, like I'm busy.
you're like,
It was like I'm traveling,
okay.
so like I'm out. And I was like, okay, until when? I paid you $45.
In this economy,
In this economy?
in this economy with all these new tariffs coming up too. I don't want to get
Exactly. And it was from America also, pre-tariffs. So I was like,
pre-tariffs. Actually, that kind of goes into line with one of my stories. So for the concert, we're going to the Stray Kids concert in June. I kind of want to like do this Bang Chang's look from God's Menu, where he has kind of like it's not military, but it's kind of, well, maybe military-esque shirt, and he has a bunch of like badges on it. So I'm gonna do that, but like, I'm gonna put Stray Kids badges on it, and on the back it's gonna say no rent like his. That's my idea. Anyway, so I wanted to get some patches. I went to Etsy.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I got three. I got one for both of us. That it's the tour with 2025 and the city we're in. So got that badge. That was from a kind of a closer city to mine. Cool. And then I got a Stray Kids badge. That was from just says Stray Kids from the UK. Okay, no problems. Prices were fine. Nice. And then I wanted to get a Bang Chan's Kazoo. Cute little guy. That one's from the US. And it was like, it says it was $12. Perfect. I put it through, not even thinking of the shipping. The shipping was $30.
Yeah.
And I said, excuse you, I'm not paying this. For, like, and I'm telling you, the badge was,
Yeah.
everyone knows what a iron-on patch looks like. Excuse you? Absolutely not.
I remember thinking you sent me like your thing and it was like $80 and you only
Yeah.
bought 4 patches and I remember thinking like, man, that's a lot.
I thought, same thing. That's literally what happened. I looked at my full bill and I go, that does feel like a lot. Even though I got, the two of our, and I was like, what's that?
That was like
$10,
$10 each is 40
Yeah.
plus like shipping. But I was like, that still seems like kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. And so not only that, so then, I look at that. So the one that was in a city near me didn't have any shipping costs. The UK one, the shipping was only $8 for a whole, like, different continent.
Across the ocean.
Continent. Yeah, a full continent over it. The US, and it was in California. So anyway, I'm like, it's not even...
Yeah, just shoot it straight up.
Straight up, just shoot it. And so that shook me, and I was like, oh, it must have been an effect of the tariffs, because I bought this around all that time happening. So unfortunately, I canceled it. I said, I canceled it straight out, and she gave me a refund right away, at least. That was fine. But I was surprised that I could not believe. So I was like, I was actually starting to see it. So we're going to keep on keeping on. So, okay. This next thing I want to talk about was kind of, I think, a fun thing. So with this whole K-pop journey, we're like never know how to describe the music because we're
I know,
not
yeah. We're always just like, it's so good. I love it.
it's a jam. It's a jam. Oh, this person sings beautifully. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, but what does that even mean? So I had an idea to talk to my mom. Because my mom is she's not a professional singer, but she's professionally trained, so she would know how to probably describe a music.
She at least knows the terms.
Yeah, she knows the terms.
She can help us with terms.
See if she sees, if she's looking at someone singing, she can kind of tell how they're singing, because like that's how she's technical. She knows like how to sing, in the sense of trained singing. She was trained.
So totally like what do you call that? Objective or subjective? Objective, right?
I always mix it up.
I know, me too. I think subjective is the one where it's like your opinion, and objective is the one that's like facts.
Because you're an object, so you're taking a look at an object.
Yeah, like subjective is like, I don't know, whatever. I think it's objective. I think it's objective. So like she can look at it objectively and be like, oh, this is good, this is good, this is bad, this is bad.
100%.
Without having like an opinion on who they are as people or how good like the song is or whatever.
Yeah, so Mom's Music Corner. I don't know. I can't think of anything better than that.
Mom's music.
Yeah, so she can take a look, and just like, again, she's not a professional. This is her opinion, of course.
She's also like, I mean, wildly removed from the whole genre. So like it's interesting
absolutely. Which is kind of, again, like you said, why we wanted.
Kind of fascinating just to see like a totally like unbiased random opinion.
Truly unbiased. Yeah, my mom like.
Although I am waiting for the day when your mom's like, I know. I like this guy.
I know.
Eventually, she'll come with bias eventually.
I know. I'm low key like trying to get her in on it too, right?
I was really hopeful for like one of them. I was like, maybe she's gonna be like, I know. I love it.
I know. It's funny. It is funny. And she's so my mom's retired too, so like
she's looking for some hobbies, I guess. I don't know.
Well, no. She actually did go back to singing in a choir more recently, so she's even back into singing. She could read, whatever.
I mean, we actively were like, we don't want to bother you, and she was like, I have the time. To spare.
She's so funny. She's like, it's fine. I'm like, okay, well, we'll send it to you.
Okay, well, get ready. Because we got a lot coming.
I know. And it's actually kind of so funny because, again, she is so objective. We're actually scared to send her certain people because I'm like, I actually don't know if I want her opinion.
Yeah, there's a few people where we're like, we can't have her say that this is bad.
Yeah, we'll actually die. We'll be crushed. Like, for example, Bang Chan, like, I like his voice and I think it's pretty good, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know if she'll be like, hey, he's kind of off key. I'm like, oh, I don't want to know that. I don't want to know. So... yeah, so we're holding up. But we have 3 3 analysis from her.
We started with Onu because he's definitely somebody that both of us, like, right away were like, the song's beautiful. And, like, I think that's even what kind of kicked it off, where we're like, I don't even know how to really describe this, but it's voice, magical and amazing. So, like, what is this even? So we started with him, and we were like, please listen.
Yeah, we started with my boy. Oh yeah, by the way, side note, at the K-pop event, I did end up buying 3 photo cards. 2 of them were Onu, so that's a sign. And then the other one I'll reveal to you later. But yeah, so I love Onu too. But yes.
Now, what song was it? I can't remember.
Blue, obviously.
I was gonna say, that's the song that like really hit me, that I was like, I don't understand what's happening here.
Yeah, it was such a good song. So yeah, Blue. I sent her Blue. So my mother's analysis on Onu was he has a clean, natural sound. It's bright, strong, but not heavy. He would not have a rich lower tone. Okay. He has good control. Like his voice won't change between higher and lower tones, which is like good. So he can control, if he's singing a higher tone, he can totally control that. If he's singing a lower, he can control that.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like warbly and...
I thought that was fascinating because I was like, oh, clean, natural sound.
I thought that was so interesting too, because like when we got the review in, we were like, I don't think there are any shiny songs where he sings low. Like, we've never heard him sing like in a low tone.
Not really, yeah. A lot of the guys too, if you really think about it.
Not like deep bass. Like, obviously he doesn't sing like high pitched all the time, but it's a very like clean, nice review for him. Perfect.
I know.
He sounds great. He's doing it. I think she even circled back at one point. Didn't like when you
She
sent her
does circle
somebody
back.
else, she was like, he wasn't like the first guy. I was like,
I know. I was like, I know.
that's when I started thinking like, it sounds like we got a bias on our hands, Mom.
I know. I'm like, do Mom and I share a bias? I think so.
That's crazy. Me and Mom sharing a bias. That's crazy.
Well, she would never bias that way. She would bias in the sense of like appreciating.
You never know. Show her a couple pics. Maybe she'll be like,
Come on. She'll be like, he can be my son, which is true.
I know. That's what I was
your
thinking.
age.
I was like, he's literally born the same year that I was born. So
We're both like her daughter. Well, I am her daughter.
might be a bit weird.
But you're also like her daughter.
Yeah, we're both. It's almost like we're her daughters. Like both of
I mean,
us.
you're not technically, actually, but you are. But yeah, so that's all she would say. She'll be like, yeah, he can be my son. He's a cutie, though. Like, or something like that. I'm like, yeah. Anyway.
Good review, though. And, like, kind of nice. Like, I thought, like, later she kind of was commenting about, like, longevity. And, like, she didn't really say that about him. So I was like, okay, good. He's going to be here forever.
I mean, we love it. Because he is the oldest one that we know. Like, in our current grouping of people. But yeah, I know. She definitely circles back to it. And I was like, okay, girl.
Yeah, she remembered.
Yeah, you did. Well, she didn't remember his name, though. I was like, that's fine.
Yeah, but she remembered the first guy. That's good enough.
He left a mark. Okay, the next one that well, we both kind of wanted to know, but was for you specifically. We had her talk about V, or Taehyung.
To be fair, this was one of the ones where I was like, I could get devastated by this.
Yeah.
Like if she said something really bad, I would have been like, we're not friends.
No, she was right on the market though. What we thought was what we got, basically. And we gave her. Ooh, it's where he's wearing the gold in the gold.
Love Me Again?
Yeah, I think that. Love Me Again.
I wanted her to do slow dancing, but like half that song is like a flute solo.
Oh, well, she probably would have loved the flute solo, honestly.
But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, slow dancing is definitely a better song.
Yeah.
But then after that was around the time where she was like, I'll do it, it's fine. I was like, send her all of the songs. Send her the whole album.
That's what we kind of gotta, I think that's what we gotta do before. I think we gotta give her 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah, like, I kind of was thinking, like, if we want like a robust review.
Yeah, because she even says that she'll say stuff like, well, this song specifically, because it's true. Like, anyway, so we gave her,
I think it was Love Me Again.
And so she said, yeah, this one is not all that technically challenging, like meaning the song, which sure. And then, but he has a good range, light tone, maybe even a bit sultry.
That's what I was wondering, because I felt like when I listened to it, it was very like a crooner song, and I was like, am I the only one that's like feeling that?
Nope.
And I thought like because like your mom's older, like that's more like a generation that she would be used to. I was like, I wonder if she'll like, I don't know, I wonder if she'll like see that.
She said sultry.
I know. And I was like secretly hoping that she would be like, oh, I love this.
No,
like,
yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be her bias.
I definitely, no, 100%.
No, definitely not. But I was like, in my like my fantasies, I was like, your mom's gonna be like, V's my favorite, I love him, he's my bias, and then you'll be the odd man out.
No, it's funny though, because I was talking to her about this review. I said to her, I said, hey. We needed to know.
Go easy on me.
No, I was like, this guy's obviously sexy. We do think he's quite sexy, is what I wrote.
You said that to your mom?
Yeah.
We think he's quite sexy.
Yeah.
That's so
that's
funny.
short. Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't care. Okay.
I know, but that's so funny.
Okay, I'll play.
Your mom's like, okay. Like, great. Happy for you.
Okay. Yeah, so like when I was talking to my mom about this, I said, yeah, we really wanted to know why, because we do think he's quite sexy. That's what I wrote to my mother, and my mom just wrote back, yeah, hence sultry.
Okay, see.
So, yeah, she gets the vibe. Well, and then I was talking to her more about like why we're curious, because like sometimes we just see someone and we're like, oh, like he's my bias, and my mom was like, yeah, I guess I kind of understand the concept. Like back in the day, like I used to really like Harry Connick Jr. Again, he's a crooner, so you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She gets it. She gets the vibe, okay? So, did I just out my mom as a Harry Connick Jr. stan? I mean, Harry Connick Jr., he kills it, okay? I don't know. He's the Christmas king.
I mean, based on not knowing what he looks like at all, I'm gonna say he can still get it.
Yeah, he's pretty handsome, but he's really super little. Anyway,
Yeah, I'll commit to that without knowing what he looks like.
yeah, he's a good looking guy. Anyway.
Yeah, I was like genuinely really curious what she was gonna think about it because I felt like maybe your mom was like a crooner type, and I was like, I wonder if she's gonna like it. And like obviously, like I said in my fantasy, I was like, my wildest dream, she'd be like, I love him.
Well, she definitely understands.
She's obviously not like committing to K-pop like that.
Nah, she won't. She won't. Yeah, she'll hold out.
We'll break
forever.
through though. My dream is that we break through. We give her one song, and she's gonna be like, "This song's fucking amazing." Or I'll be like,
Well,
"Yes, we got her."
Yeah, I mean, like when I talk to her, I talk to her on the phone a bit. Like, just again, I always try to like follow up with her to be like, "You sure this is fine? Because like you don't need to do this. Don't feel like."
I mean, it's the same. I'm always texting you to tell her like, "Is it okay? Are we good? Don't want to bother you."
Every time I bring it up, she's like, "No, it's fun." Like she said she's never had to like use like her ability, whatever you want to call it, to like analyze like this, so she kind of does find it fun way for her brain to.
Yeah, I could totally see it being like a kind of an interesting like thought experiment, I guess.
Yeah.
Just to like totally blindly listen to something and see if it's like technically good or not.
And then what she said, yeah, well, everything you've sent me for so far was they all have really good range. They're all technically great singers. I'm like, I know, right?
I know.
I know they're great. So I think she could. But I think that's always kind of what she feels like with like pop music. Yeah, they're obviously good singers most of the time. I mean, so anyway, so the last person we got her to look at because we needed to know is she had the most to say about it. Maybe she was just in a good mood this day, but Jungho from ITZY.
Yeah.
So I sent her, I can't remember. It was just like a live performance of like a cover of some kind.
Yeah, it was like a solo cover, I think. I don't remember the song.
It was like some kind of, it was some kind of variety show too. So like clearly he was like using his pipes. Like he was like singing his heart out. Also what she had to say, very fascinating to me. So a bit of a throat singer. He doesn't resonate in his head, meaning he sounds good, but his voice won't last. However, again, he has a good range, dynamics are great, and good control. Again, kind of like Onu. So she was telling me the technical, when you sing, you're supposed to feel it at the top of your head. So like that means you're using your diaphragm correctly, and so you're singing. But if you're singing from your throat, you won't feel that motion. And I've done it before. I get there's a difference. So
I think I understand what she's saying too. Like when you really like go for it. Yeah, I know. Like when you really go for it though, like in the shower and you're like belting and you can like
it's like it's like pulling a string up. Okay, but I'm doing that for you guys. But anyway, so I was like, okay, did not think that these were I was like, okay. And she gave the example of like Adele, for example. She's a really famous throat singer because again, she had what was polyps.
Yeah.
So you'll get surgery and stuff like that.
I think a lot of like screamo people have that too. They always get like the throat thing. They have to like throat surgeries and stuff like that because like it would be the same thing, right? You're literally just like screaming from here, from like your throat area.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ugh. Yeah. It's just like I can't imagine getting throat surgery.
I know, like
that scares me. Like
especially if that's like your livelihood, that would be so terrifying.
So scary.
But it's scary to think that like that might happen to Jungho.
Yeah, well, and then this is where I found this interesting. So I'll go through the rest of my mom's thing, but I'll circle back to that. You could. This is my mom again. You could tell on his high notes that his throat isn't opening, but I still said he sounds good. So again, that's when your throat's not open, you're not projecting at the top. Lots of non-classically trained singers sing like that, or I should say pop singers. Because so she was trying to say like even some pop singers are classically trained, but they don't sing that way. Like the first guy, Onu, was very pure, natural voice, not strained in any way, but it doesn't matter. He's still a great singer. Okay, girl.
We got a bias cooking.
Well, she's saying it, but it doesn't matter. He's still a great singer, meaning Jungho. Like even though he doesn't sing like Onu. Yeah. Like when you use your throat, your mouth goes side to side. When you resonate in your head, your mouth is openly vertical. So like that's how you get
Yeah.
scientifically get the sound out, right? To reiterate, she's wrote, well, totally an opinion. Someone more experienced might disagree. The one thing about all of them, all three, is their pitch is perfect. Like they don't go flat or sharp, which is why I don't want to send her Bang Chang. I think he sometimes goes flat or sharp when he's singing live. But anyway, so that's why my mom's a little crying, and I'm like excited.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting because like when you hear about like the trainee part of K-pop idols, they do singing lessons and stuff like that. So it's just fascinating to me that like, I mean, maybe he did get that training, but it just like didn't stick properly. But like in my head, I'm thinking like, why wouldn't you be trained in that proper way to sing and like forced to do it that way? I just that just kind of fascinated me that like he must have had lessons at some point, but he still didn't like adapt to that way of singing. He still sings in that like throaty way and not like the classical way.
But yeah, maybe this is one scenario my mom was looking at and all that stuff. But yeah, maybe again, as she was saying, like maybe it's just to hit those high notes at that level. That's kind of what they have to do, maybe. And maybe like again, like when they're in the training, the people at the company don't really care that much if they are.
Like maybe they don't care about that. It just like seemed weird to me. Like I would just assume that if you're gonna do lessons, you're gonna do classical proper lessons, but maybe not.
Or maybe they have shitty teachers.
Maybe you're just doing lessons to cover your bases and get it out.
Do your own stuff, yeah. But yeah, that wraps up my mom's music corner.
But yeah, we were saying like we're kind of scared to like send her some certain people. Like we were saying that we're kind of scared to send her Jimin because we don't want her to say that Jimin is bad. Because we're like so protective of him. We're like scared that she's gonna be like, no, it's not it. If she says anything negative about Jimin, we're just like,
I'll fight her. No.
Segment's over.
I honestly feel like at this point, seeing how she's reacted, I feel like I don't think she'll say anything because it seems like they all are well trained enough to obviously.
Yeah, I feel like the general consensus will be like it's good, and then like the more like nuanced thing would be like how are they doing it? Like how will it last? Can they do like different registers and things like that?
Yeah.
But yeah, it does seem like everyone can do it. I mean, everyone can do it. We obviously know that anyway.
Yeah. So like you're at that level, you're gonna be. Yeah, but that also leads me to the next point I have to talk about.
I know, we have to. That's what I was thinking. Like, we're at this point like a little scared to send her Jimin because we've like really like. I mean, in my defense, I have always been on Jimin.
Yeah, okay? You were always there. You were always there, okay? Because you've been around it longer, okay? So for me, again, so we'll talk. We talked about it in one of my very early episodes. Again, this whole podcast is about the journey.
Yeah.
About us going through it, going through the K-pop journey.
I kind of thought like back at that time when we talked about it, and you were just like, he's fine. I was like, we'll see.
You clock that. We'll see. You're like,
we'll see about that. Because I know he's pure in his heart, and that will win you over.
Oh, you know me well. So yes, I'm fully back. Jim acceptance. I've come here.
In your defense, you didn't say you didn't like him. You were just like, he's fine.
I said, yeah, he's fine. I didn't get it. And I said that. I said, I don't get it. Now now
you get it.
I do. I love him. I'm in love with him. He needs to be protected at all costs.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like when I was saying like he's literally the cutest guy I've ever seen, I'm like, that's what I mean.
Get it.
Like you just
I get it.
He's Jimin.
He's Jim. I can't. Yeah, no, I can't not go back. He's like, again, there's a weird thing in Biasville where like you have your bias, you're like, I would marry this person, no problem, okay? Then I find another section where like I love you on such a platonic level, but like the love is so real. And then there's like, I would die for you. But like I don't even want to like necessarily get married to you because you're like too perfect. That's Jimin, okay? I would die. No, but like you know what I mean. There's like different levels of bias, right?
Yeah.
He's like that. Yeah. He's kind of like in his own category of like, yeah, he must be protected at all costs. He needs all the happiness in the world, basically. Yeah. And that's where I started getting defensive because I started seeing this stuff. I'm like, he's like, super cute. He seems to like really love all of his other members. He just like, and then I saw like live footage of him singing. He was crying. I was like, oh my god. But then I'm like, I heard about the amount of hate he gets, and I go, this is unacceptable. How dare you?
Yeah.
That's where I really started to go,
How absolutely dare you?
How absolutely dare you? That's when I started to realize, I'm like, oh, no. You say what you want, like I did. Say you want about Jimin, but like, don't be rude to him. Like, it's just, like, I was never rude about it. I was like, I don't get it, but, you know, whatever. But no, these people are like, because he's too pretty, he sings too high, he can't do anything right. And I'm like, oh, I don't get it. That's crazy. So that's what locked it in. When I started getting real defensive about it, I was like, no. So I'm here, guys. We're here. I fully accept Jimin.
Yeah. He's like like you said, like there's just like different like groups of biases, and he's just like, I love you forever and protect you forever bias.
Well, it's kind of true, because it's kind of funny when we think about all of our groups, we do not share biases. Like, not because, like, not on purpose. We just normally...
I mean, we have different types.
Yeah.
Like, in general. But yeah, like, I was thinking that the other day. I was just like, we don't have any overlapping biases. Like, we have, like, maybe second or third biases where we're like, yeah. Honestly.
Or, like you say, like, the Jimin effect, where it's like, they're precious on another level. Like...
Yeah, or like even like maybe like Jungkook or something. We're like, obviously we love him.
Obviously,
but he's not like
exactly.
the top.
Exactly. So then we were like,
we have one shared bias.
We found this out recently, but again, it's not like a full, like, it is. Yeah,
it's kind of just like by default.
By default, yeah. So we also have to retract the statement from earlier episodes. This is you too. This one's actually you. You're like, the fuck this guy. Well, not quite that again.
I know. I feel like we were really weird about it because, okay, so we're talking about Yeonjun from TXT, and like in the episode we were talking about how he's born in '99. We were like, ew, he's so young. And like, like what are we talking about? Yeonjun was born in 2000, so I'm like, what am I talking about actually?
I think it's because in general we're trying not to get into bands that are.
Yeah, I think the rest of the group is very young, so like
fully young. Yeah, so
2002, 2001, 2000, I think is the rest of them. So we were like, TXT is not for us.
We don't want to get into it because we know how Instagram works.
Yeah.
And it's already been working now, because now I see Subin all the time. I'm like, I can't.
I don't want to see somebody's abs that was born in 2002. No, thank you.
Exactly. I can't. And now we can't, because I feel like Yeonjun and Subin are always kind of like shipped together.
Yeah. Subin is 2000, I think. So
which is like borderline, but still, I see them together all the time now. I'm like, it's unlocked. So yes, we both. He's our
by
TXT
default
bias. Yeah, we're like, okay. But yeah, we both really turned around on him because at first, we were talking about like Gum, which again, banger song. Absolute banger song. And then the dance is amazing, obviously. It's great. But we were like, he was kind of a brat in the music video. I was like, I don't love this. I was like, I don't get this. And I think you both were, which is also funny that you said, you're like, he's just like kind of really thin, and you're like, that's your MO. Like, that's usually your MO. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, we said a lot of stuff about him that I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. The things we were saying.
I know. I don't know what we were on.
Actually, like,
we were really
weird.
trying to block TXT. We were just like, no, it's not coming in our brain. We're not doing it.
No,
and we're here. We love him now. We love him now. Like everyone else, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, he's also just everywhere. He's in every dance challenge thing. Like. And then people who work within those companies, they are just like, they all just like love him. Everyone just loves him.
And again, the thing with the K-pop world universe, would I ever say this guy's nose is cute? But that's what I think about it. He's got a cute little nose. And I'm like, when would I ever say that about anybody ever? Like, no, but he's cute. He's cute.
I thought it was interesting. I thought that when he released Gum, it was like off of an album. No. It's literally just one song. There's no album. He has no other solo songs. It's just that one. I was like,
what a banger.
I know. I was like, what the hell? He just dropped like the most fire song ever, and then that's it. Back to TXT.
Well, and like I think you told me about TXT, like potentially they're on like the rocks or something.
I think that they announced that they were gonna go on hiatus when their current tour ends.
So
I wonder if it. I mean, they're pretty young for enlistment, but that's what I was wondering, if maybe it's just like an enlistment thing.
Yeah,
but they're pretty young for enlistment, so maybe not. Not
but
sure.
I mean, so
either way,
he's good. He'll be good.
But like we were talking about, you gotta have like a plan when you go for those like PCs, like photo cards,
totally.
things. I'm like,
Yeah.
I would never buy a TXT album, but like I wouldn't
No.
say no to a Yeonjun photo card. So like I gotta have a plan going in there, so I gotta get at least one of those. I gotta get a Jackson Wang. I gotta get a Minhyuk. Like I'm not buying GOT7. I'm
Exactly.
not buying BTOB.
Exactly. I know. I'm foolish now that I went and just panicked. I panicked, but it was okay. It was good. It was good. But now I know
Now we
exactly. I got
know,
to
like
plan for
yeah,
that. I got to plan for the one-off biases, like the just the casual bias ones.
yeah.
Because I thought I saw Yeonjun and I was so close, but I was like, because I was like panicking. I was like, I don't even know if that's really him or not, because I don't know the other members, and I was like, I don't know what's happening.
I mean, yeah, that's the other thing is like they always do different concepts and stuff. So you're like, is that him?
Yeah,
I don't
totally.
want to
And
look
I was
like a
like, I don't know.
fool.
I exactly and like yeah. So, but because we thought of this that we don't ever share a main bias, we started getting into 17. We're like, okay, we're gonna save this for the podcast, so we're actually gonna reveal. We'll talk about 17 and then like reveal. We don't know each other's bias yet for 17, so it's gonna be really exciting. And I don't think we match again. I really don't.
No, I would be shocked. I would actually be so shocked if we had the same person.
Yeah, no, we don't. So, but it's I don't think we. Yeah, I. No.
I like if we
So,
if we have the same person, we are good actors.
no. Okay, alright.
Like that's all I'm gonna say. Like we've been putting on some good acting if we have the same bias.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think we do. But that we thought it'd be interesting to like actually hold that off because we've been and it's been hard. It's been so hard not to
Yeah.
talk about it. We've been like not sharing reels so much. We just kind of like
We've been like kind of slowly chipping away at it though, because like every once in a while we're like, I know it's not this guy though.
yeah, so we've kind of figured
We've
out
narrowed it down.
a little bit. So yeah. So I mean, let's talk about 17 though. Like it's been exciting to get into like another band again. I know we had a bonus episode and I bought one of their albums. So yeah,
Mhm.
I've been listening and I've been
I think like early on you started listening a little bit.
I did.
You had a couple songs on there and like this is I think why I like that album Love and Letters is because the only songs you added to the playlist were from that album.
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, these are pretty good songs." And then like I hadn't really like explored it on my own. And then when I did start listening to myself, there were a couple other songs from that same album that I was like, "Oh, I like these ones too." So I think that's like why that album I like quite a bit. But there was a couple early on songs that we listened to, and I think it was like the vibe was kind of like we know it's good, but we weren't like ready for something new.
Yeah, because I remember, yeah, when I got into that 17, it was like right when I was trying to like just go ham. So I would like Stray Kids to a tease, like, then I went, I think I tried to go right into 17, and it just didn't work. Like, and a lot of their earlier albums, the one I listened to, like I said, it was like felt more ballad based, and I was like, whatever. But then I, again, started listening to for the very beginning, and I was like, oh no, these guys.
Yeah, like I knew I wanted to try as well because I had seen some of the members like around on different shows and stuff. Like when we were getting into BTS, I was watching Sashrita, which is Sugar's show, and he had like Hashi on there. He has had Woozy on too, but I didn't watch that episode. But I watched the Hashi episode and I was like, oh, this guy's so cute. Like he's so sweet. So I was like, okay. And then for some reason, I mean, I'm sure my algorithm was like because of Yoongi Hashi was showing me a lot of Hashi stuff, and I was like, "Oh, he's so
Yeah.
cute. Gotta get in there eventually."
Gotta get into it. Well, yeah, and I think that's what happened too. Is then we were like, no, we really need to get into BTS. So then BTS took over for a long time.
Yeah, that took over. I would say like my other friend that's like a big BTS fan is a big 17 right now, so like I was also seeing that a lot from her side of things, and I was like,
The other reason I really wanted to get into 17 again is when we did the Stray Kids episode. We showed all like the credited people, and there was someone from 17. I was like, oh, which was Uzi, and I didn't realize that. Like yeah, they wrote that much of their own music, and then it
yeah.
turns out he's like one of the producer of the group. So
Yeah, he's like the number 5 credited person or something like that. So yeah, that kind of surprised me too.
and
Yeah.
so yeah, because I find the bands that do write their own music tend to
Yeah.
have their own vibe. So
Yeah.
and I was here for it. I listened to their first album, and I was like, okay, I get it. They're great.
I went into 17 trying to think like kind of with like a Hashi vibe just because that's like who I had been seeing the most. And I know they have a couple subunits and stuff, but one of their like main subunits is BSS, which is Hashi, Seungkwan, and DK, I think. but a lot of all those songs were produced by Woozi. So I was like,
Hmm.
oh, interesting. I mean, I did listen to BSS and I'm like, it was fine. It didn't blow me away. I liked the 17 more
Okay.
than I liked BSS, but that was kind of how I approached it. I was like, let me see what Hashi's about.
Let's see what this guy's about.
And then obviously I had the same J-Hope effect where as soon as I saw him like in content, I was like, he is a lot of energy, and that's not quite my vibe.
Yeah, I think we both agree on Hoshi. Like we both have the same opinion on which I figure we might. Again, yeah, I was watching content. I was like, oh, he's cute. He's like I got a nice personality. But then I started seeing more. I go, oh god, he's a lot. He's a lot,
He's got the
which is
like
great.
Woo Young and the like J-Hope, like very high energy.
I kept thinking of Han too, like Han in
Yeah.
content. Where I go, gosh, I just love you to death, but just I can't. If I was
I
like,
will say that like Hashi's in my top 3 still because I still
oh,
like, I mean, that's like what was drawing me in, so like I
okay,
can't deny that. He's in my top 3 still, but like he's definitely like third.
oh, well, okay, he was in my honorable mentions, so I have an honorable mention section. Okay,
Fair, fair.
well, we could just like start with them. So we have Scoops.
So yeah, like, well, when we talked about it early on, we were, I don't know, we got shared a photo of Scoops and Mingyu.
Well, this is what happened. So yeah, I remember what happened because I kept seeing Mingyu on my feed because of course I would because he's like Beefcake Central. So
Yeah.
like I kept seeing him. So I was like, who the heck is this guy? So you reached out to your 17 contact.
I think I was just like, who's the beefcake?
Yeah, who was the Beefcake? Because I needed to know. And she sent you 2 photos. One was of Mingyu.
Yeah, she sent me Scoops and she sent me Mingyu. And like the picture she sent of Scoops, we were like, oh, okay, crazy.
I was
But
like,
then like as we were
okay.
getting into it, we were like, not quite.
So yeah, so S Coops is what I thought I was gonna go for because he's the leader, he's a rapper.
That's what I was gonna say. Like he's a leader, so I knew that you were gonna be like, okay, let's see.
I was gonna try it out, and then yeah, I got that photo. I was like, okay, he's also Beefcake. Okay, it's up my alley. But then yeah, I was like, oh, he's just not giving us I thought he would. I was like, okay.
He was one of the people that we ruled out early on, though. Like when we
Yeah,
weren't trying to tell
yeah.
each other, we were like, "But it's not S Coops, right?"
Yeah, we knew that, yeah. But yeah, and also like just from what I've seen, like just his personality wasn't like the one that stood out the most.
Yeah, it's
to me.
just
So I
like
was like, well, whatever.
he's
I was
cute,
like,
he's fine, he's fine.
Yeah, and he's at 95, so I really hoped that I was
Yeah.
like, okay, he's older. I really hoped, but
And I think we both like really respect Woozi as like an artiste.
okay. And also, I just to say too, yes, as an artiste, as the producer, he's just
Yeah.
not giving the vibes. But I will say, I looked up how to pronounce people's names because I was like, I need to know.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's Uji, like in Korean.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm not saying them the way that they're supposed to be said, but
Normally, I think we're pretty good, but I thought that was just most fascinating from an
Yeah.
English speaker. Uji. So, but yeah, I feel like how can you not say Uzi? It's such a good slay. But I do think he looks kind of ish like a mini baby Yoongi a bit. And I'm like, oh, they're both the producers.
yeah, I totally see what you're saying. Like he has a similar face shape and stuff, but like,
But I was like, also like, oh, they're both kind of like the producers too. I thought that was good.
yeah, true.
But yeah, but then I mean, we could just go through them too. Like, so the next in band order.
So we're gonna go through them, but are we gonna say?
I know. What how else are we gonna do? What are we just because we're just gonna like not say certain names until we're like getting towards the end that we're gonna know anyway. Well, how else
Okay.
are we gonna cut this down?
No,
No, but
alright.
like, what are we gonna do?
We can go through in order. I just feel like
I know, because I know who your bias is. I feel like
like it's gonna be over so fast.
okay, this is why I'm okay. I fucking knew it. Your bias is Jonghan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I fucking
But this
knew
is why
it.
I knew that we didn't have the same one because
Yeah.
when we were talking a little bit about it, I was like, "Oh, like Jonghan's already in the military service," and you were like, "Oh, let me look up who that is." I was like, "Okay." Like, well, that's tragic.
Well, no,
It's
again,
it's such a bummer though because like when I was watching the show and like it was really through the show. Like in the show, he's very funny to me. And
Yeah.
I think he gives a little bit of like a Hyunjin
Okay.
vibe because like especially when he has the long hair, I'm like okay. But yeah, my chosen bias is Jonghan. But it's so tragic because he's already been in service for like months already. So like I don't even get to fully enjoy it. That's why I was like, I need to have a top 3 because like my guy's already gone. So
Okay, you know how I knew though? This was your tell is when we were like I think maybe sending reels or something. You wrote his name as Junggi, so you were already making.
I thought that too, but like I was like, I do that all the time.
But I was like, nah, this is him.
But I even when I sent that, I was like, that is a dead giveaway. But I was like, I do that all the time. Maybe not. Yeah, he's totally my bias. I think he's so attractive, especially with the long hair.
I get it. Hey, I get it. And he's a 95er, so it's great.
I know. That's why I was like, if we go in order, it's already over because it's like the second person.
I mean, I still don't know your second.
There is no way. Guess right now who my second is.
Okay, let me just scroll through here. You're gonna laugh at who one of my 3 is after. Yeah.
I have a guess at what one of yours is.
Yeah, you for sure know one of them. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
One of them.
Who? I think we have the same. I know we have one similar one. I know.
Are you serious? Are you not?
There's no way that we wouldn't have this person.
Okay, well just say it then. What, Mingyu?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Obviously,
okay, yeah.
There's no way that we wouldn't have him.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, it's just like, obviously.
Yeah, so I was like, he's obviously my second because, obviously.
Okay, fine.
Like, I knew he was going to be on your list. That's why I was like, I have 2 guesses to who your top 3 are, and one of them is definitely Mingyu.
Yeah, okay, you're not wrong about that section, because, because
he's literally, like, the hottest one of the whole group.
Yeah, and like, so he was always circulating, and I was like, obviously, this guy's really trying. But I started watching, and I thought he might have been, but I started watching footage, and from what I was seeing, it's kind of like just more on the jock side, it seemed like, of things. Like, I haven't seen too much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. In some of the shows, he is pretty funny also, so, like, that's why I was like, okay.
He'll be in there. He'll be in the top 3 for sure.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
I'm only guessing this because you clocked the photo card as soon as you pulled it out, but the 8.
Okay, he's in my honorable mentions.
Okay. I was like, the fact that you pulled the 8 photo card and was like, this is the 8, and the other 2 we were like, I don't know. I was like,
He was super close. He's like right at the borderline there. Okay, do you want any other guesses, or do you want to just go through the rest? Because you're right about the 97 curse I was talking about earlier. The 8 is 97.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I know Mingyu's in there, because even like from the reels and stuff, and like I was like, obviously, like there's just no denying it. And then you were also like 97, and I was like, well, I know he's also 97.
Yeah. Okay, so like next.
Yeah, go back to the order.
Back to the band order.
No, after Junghan is Joshua, I think. Right?
Josh, yeah. So he is Korean American. He's another 95er, lead vocalist, visual.
I mean, he is really good looking, but it's always fascinating to me. Like, he's from LA, so obviously he speaks good English, but when I hear him speaking the English, I'm like, there's no accent. Like, it's an American voice. Like, it just jars me every time. I'm like, that's an American guy.
It's like Eric from The Boys too. He's similar. He's from LA too. It's just like, yo, what up? You're like, whoa.
But maybe it's the LA thing. They just like are so crystal clear with their English, but every time he does it, I'm like, whoa, that's it. Like, even when Vernon speaks English, I'm like, okay, yeah. But I'm like, when Joshua speaks English, I'm like, whoa, that's an American man. Like, it just jars me every time. I don't know. It's like crazy. I really like him though. He's in my kind of honorable mentions area, because I do think he's like good looking and he seems funny.
Yeah, and like, to go back to your statement, he was fully born and raised in LA too. Like, he wasn't just, he's full on.
Yeah.
So, and then he joined Pledis, whatever you pronounce it, in 2013. So, like, that's when the first time we went to Korea. So I'm sure he like learned how to speak Korean growing up or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why he's just like full, because he grew up there, whole childhood there. Yeah. The next person in band order is June. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of.
No, I haven't seen a lot of personality from him, but I'm still getting into it.
Still going through it. Yeah, so who knows?
But I do think he's really, like, he looks like a model to me.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, half these idols always.
I mean, I guess, like, most of them do, but, like, something about him specifically, I'm like, that's too chiseled.
Very handsome, very good looking, but, yeah, I didn't pick up much personality. For, like, again, we're very
Yeah.
new in the space of 17. So we're both have a similar vibe with it. And then Hoshi, which we've talked about.
Love him.
Okay, next in the list is Wonwoo.
Mm.
Wonwoo. He's in my top 3. He was in my top 3 from what I was trying to figure out, which is hilarious. Because I literally pulled his card and I didn't even recognize him. Because the contact I've only watched of him, he was dark haired. So I didn't even.
Yeah, I've only seen him dark haired. Like, even when you showed that, I was like, I did not know he did blonde. Yeah. I think that he's great, but he is the one person from 17 that I can never remember. Like, whenever I see them, I'm like, who is that? Like, he's the one person whose name I'm struggling with the most. Like, name to face that I'm struggling with the most. I thought it was going to be Dino, but it's Swanwoo. Like, for some reason, every time I see him, I'm like, who's that again?
Well, he's one of my top 3s. Okay.
I mean, in content, he's great. He's very funny.
And he's cute. He's so handsome. Okay.
I mean, yeah, he's good looking. That's your top 3 or 1?
No, not my 1. Not my
Okay.
1. Not my, we still got my 1 left. Okay. No, yeah, 2, 3. Yeah. We're leaving space here. Well, because he was a rapper too, and I heard he's like, yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
But he's leaving now too, so I'm like, cool.
Yeah, he's definitely already in service now.
I was like, great, cool. Woozy. Okay, the next person is DK. It's DK, girl.
Mm-hmm.
No way. Okay, cut.
I think
what? Say what you're gonna say.
No, I don't think he's attractive
at all. What is it? What, girl?
That's crazy.
What?
He looks like a younger version of Scoops to me.
No, stop it, girl. No, what is your problem? No.
That's crazy.
No, come on. You're actually reeling right now. I'm actually going.
What I will say is that he is hilarious.
That's what I'm saying. He's so funny and he's so cute with the other members. I was like, he's so cute. He's cute.
Yeah, he's very cute. He's really funny. He does a lot of like MCing on the show. Like,
yeah, it's a problem. Maybe that's why I was subconsciously fighting for Scoops, because I'm like, just gonna come for him. I'm just gonna come for DK. Yeah, he's bothered by 97 curse. Okay, DK. Fine. I'm glad I don't have to compete with attention.
I mean, I can respect it because, like I said, he is hilarious. I think he's like probably the funniest one.
Yeah, I remember I was watching one of their vlogs and he was working out, I think, with Dino, and I was like, he's just like so cute with them, all the other members. He's caring, okay?
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, see? I'm shocked about how opposed you are about it.
I'm just shocked that you would pick him. I honestly thought that Mingyu was gonna be your number 1.
No, I knew you thought that was who I was gonna choose.
Yeah, because you fucking love beefcakes. I was like, it's gonna be him.
I do, and he is up there. But I truly was close, but from what the content I saw at the time, he wasn't selling me. I wasn't feeling the personality vibes from what I was seeing. No, I've been imprinted, okay? Deal with it. Deal with my decisions. Okay?
I mean, I can go on this journey with you more than I could go on Scoop, so
yeah,
I have to be grateful for that. I actually genuinely seems shocking to me. Like, knowing you as a person, I would never have chosen him.
That's so...
I don't know. This seems so out of character.
So rude to him. He's fine. He's cute.
No, I'm not saying he's not a viable option, but like, knowing you as a person is not what I would have chosen.
I mean, you never know with me, man. What the heart wants, what the heart
Changing
wants.
it up.
Well, next on the list is Mingyu. We've talked about that. He's both in our top 3, of course. Who doesn't love Beefcake?
I mean, he's apparently the number 1, like, followed 17 guy, so...
Oh, yeah.
And he did Calvin Klein, which is...
That is a dead killer for me if you do Calvin Klein. Like, it usually is... Yeah,
we all know what that means.
Yeah, especially, yeah. Huh.
And he's friends with Jungkook.
Oh, yeah, he's friends with Jungkook, yeah. So, the next is the 8, which we talked about already. The next guy is also honorable mentions. Seungkwan.
Yeah,
seems lovely.
I think I really love him. He would probably be he would probably be like number 4 for me, like in the same way that Hashi is like up there.
Oh.
Just as I think he's like genuinely like so like nice and kind, and like in the shows he does a lot of emceeing as well, and he's very funny. Like he just seems like a really all around like really super sweet and nice guy. So I feel like he's definitely an honorable mention for me, and probably like number 4 or number 5 maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would. He's very cute, very sweet. Yeah, again, I was watching content, I'm like,
Yeah, he's so sweet.
Yeah, like you said, he seems to like be kind of like, oh, he literally, he does say he is the face of the group. Him and Mingyu are face of the group. I know it's a different title, but I think it just means like they're out there in the media more.
Oh
maybe.
yeah, they're like yeah.
Because my other completely non K-pop friend, she does like Korean reality shows. So she started watching one and she texted me. She's like, "Do you know this guy from 17?" I was like, who? Probably." And so yeah, it was Seung Kwan that was in just in a reality show, like just randomly. So I'm like, yeah, makes sense. He's the guy that's always out there. He has that personality. Yeah. Everyone loves him. That's the type of vibe he gets.
My friend said that like the people who are in BSS are like the cheerleaders of 17, which is Sunghwan, DK, and Hashi, and I was like, that actually like makes sense.
DK. Okay, well the next in line. Wait, well last thing about Seungkwan, he's also your 17 friends bias.
Yeah,
no?
he's the bias. Like he was another person that I kind of knew early on just because I've seen him like so many times on like her stories and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, I know who this guy is.
And I also love his last name is Boo, and so people like sometimes just call him Boo, and I'm like, that's so cute. And, like especially like in English language, like Boo can be like your little side, your person.
Your little baby.
Okay. The next person's Vernon. I don't have much to say. Well, I don't get him, basically.
He
I don't get the
kind
vibe
of
for
like
him.
jumps back and forth between my honorable mentions and my like nothing pile. Just because like sometimes I see him in not nothing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I see him in content and I'm like, oh, like he's pretty funny or like he's being cute or whatever. But then like sometimes I see him and I'm like, he's so weird.
Yeah, I don't get the vibe for me. I just don't get it. I don't watch a lot of content, so maybe it might change, but yeah, I don't get it. But he was born in New York.
Yeah, he just seems interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Vernon, yeah. And then last but not least, Dino. He was in my honorable mentions. I think he's a cute guy, sweet like. But he's definitely got the Mac Knight vibe where I'm like, you're just...
Yeah.
But he was cute. He seems to be in a lot of the content for that I've seen. And
there's something similar about him and Wanwoo to me that I think that's why I'm having such a hard time like clocking Wanwoo, because I'm like, is this Wanwoo or is it Dino?
Well, yeah, it's also funny because I didn't clock Dino in my photo card. I got a photo card of Dino. I didn't realize it was him because, again...
We did guess that, though. That was one of the guesses for the cards.
Well, but I thought he was the other guy. I thought...
Yeah, we did think he was the other one, but he was still there.
He was in the mix, but again, it's hard because I think he has contacts in that shoot.
They looked so different. Yeah, they looked honestly so different in those pictures. From like what, like at least from like, even from like Going 17 and like the reels and stuff that I've seen of them, like they look totally different from that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it was a very vastly, again, we're in the beginning. It's hard to like pick out because even the latest boys comeback, I barely clocked Younghoon, and I was like, what is happening? How can I not see my own bias? It's frustrating in the beginning. Okay.
What I will say though, like early on when we were doing like K-pop and stuff, I was like, this is so hard, like to put faces to names and stuff, but like getting into 17 is like, it didn't take that long to get at least like 10 out of 13.
Yeah,
like pretty quickly. Like I was even resisting 17 for a while because I was like, I don't have enough brain capacity to like figure out 13 people, but it was like not that hard.
Yeah, no.
Like we're really starting to like acclimatize to like the K-pop side of things that I'm like, oh no, this is easy. But I guess so, to wrap up our biases for that. So for me, Jonghan, number 1, then Mingyu, and then Hashi.
DK. Probably Mingyu and then Wanwoo. So those are my top 3. And then my honorable mentions were Hoshi, The 8, Sunkwon, Dino. That's a lot up there.
Yeah, I like Songkwan and I like the 8 and June. I'm like interested to see more about June, I guess.
Yeah, and then Josh too.
Joshua's, yeah, he's up there too. I don't know. I mean, honestly, all of them
We're just
are
like the
kind
whole
of.
band. Yeah, the
Yeah, I
whole
was like,
band.
maybe a little bit of Wonwoo, maybe Vernon,
Yeah.
maybe maybe all of them.
Yeah, they're again. Every time we do this, we're like, they're all truly in their own way attractive. It's like,
Yeah.
how can you really choose? But we have. It's here. It's what the bias effect does.
When I was talking to my friend, I was like, I'm sad because my bias that I'm like working on is not here. And I was like, but I'll just keep Mingyu in the heart for now until he comes back. And she was like, everybody loves Mingyu.
I mean,
I was
yeah.
like, all right.
I mean, yeah. Let's be real.
And
Everyone...
that's when she was like, he's actually like so smart. And I was like, like,
like trying to sell
she
you.
said something like, I think he like pretends not to be as smart as he is, you know, like one of those kind of guys.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, sure.
You're trying to sell me, but you don't need to sell
I was like,
me,
you don't
bro.
need to.
It's
I'm already
fine.
sold.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I already know.
Oh my gosh. Well, we did it, guys. We did another freeform episode. Talked about the biases, and wow, well, you were shook more than anything. I predicted your bias for 17, but so keep sticking around, and we'll catch you on the flip.
Catch you